Hey guys, Paul Niyama, professionallystrong.com. I want to help you become the best and strongest version of yourself. And in this video, I want to talk about my experience in learning Jiu Jitsu. I just started less than a week ago, so it's something brand new to me. Never learned any Jiu Jitsu or anything like that before. And I kind of felt that intimidation, that fear that a lot of people have when going to the gym for the first time. So I wanted to make this video to kind of relate the two situations and to kind of do a weekly diary, maybe more, maybe less. But if something comes to my mind, I want to be able to post this and just get my thoughts out in a very non-formal setting, which is why I'm recording this on my phone in my car, because it's pretty much me just talking about my experience, and hopefully it can help someone that is going to the gym for the first time, feeling this intimidation, or someone that's been going for a while and had to stop and then is going back, because I felt that way many times in my life when I first started working out, when I first started playing rugby, when I first started playing football. And I'm feeling that now when I'm first starting with Jiu Jitsu. Now, so yeah, this is going to be a real informal, no fancy graphics, no fancy sound effects, just me talking about my experience, and hopefully it will help you. So the first thing that I noticed, when I was walking from my car to my first class, after I had not signed up yet, but I wanted to try out the class and see if I could do it and not aggravate any of my other injuries. And that was one of my fears with the class, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But that intimidation and resistance said, should I just not go? Should I turn around and walk back to my car? But I didn't. You know, I think that's a very bad thing to do when you have your mindset on something, to not do it. So I kept walking to the class, and I did the class, and I didn't get hurt because the classes run very different than what my kids have been doing for a while. They've been doing Jiu Jitsu for maybe about a year and a half, been watching their classes, never actually done it. But that fear was overcome, that intimidation was overcome, because when you walk into that place for the first time, or any place, a gym, or you play a sport for the first time, or a new setting, maybe it's a new job, you walk in there, there's going to be a little bit of intimidation because your knowledge level is not where it probably should be, and your knowledge level is not where it's going to be in a few months or a few years of doing that thing. So my knowledge level is very low. Probably a little bit more than a beginner, but I've actually never done it. I've watched a lot. I've watched my kids for about a year and a half. I watched UFC, but it's not the same. When I first felt somebody's weight on top of me, it's a little different than doing something without weight. So I like that feeling. I like the feeling of learning something new. Haven't really experienced that for a long time. I think the last time I've really experienced that was about 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, when I first started playing rugby. Went onto the field for the first time, had no idea what I was doing. I still had a little bit of athleticism from when I played football, but it's two very different sports, two different mentalities. There's obviously some similarities, but it was very new to me, very fresh for me. I felt that way when I first walked into a gym, but all the way back in high school. And, you know, I was the kid that was picked on. I was overweight, not athletic at that time. And I walked in there and said, I want to work out. I want to play football. And I did it. I did pretty well. I wasn't a superstar or anything, but I did all right. And I had that perseverance to keep pushing through in the weight room. I've been lifting ever since. Obviously, there's been some breaks where I've had to stop because of injuries. But for the most part, I've been lifting from that first day back in high school till now. Without much gaps, except for those injuries, which, you know, for me, because I've been playing rugby and doing other sports, have been some pretty big gaps. But the main way to get over that intimidation, or the way that I've done it, is just to keep doing it. I still feel it a little bit because I walk into the class and I'm surrounded by people that know what they're doing and have a better grasp of the art form a lot better than I do. And it's a little intimidating when you walk in there with the knowledge, but you just keep doing it. You get a little better, you get a little better, you get a little same thing with the weight room. You walk in there, if you've never been to a gym before, you see all these weights, you see all these cardio pieces of equipment, you see some jack people, people in real good shape, and you're like, man, what am I doing here? That's exactly how I felt when I was in high school and for the first time. And I knew all the people in the high school because I was classmates with them from elementary and on, or some of them. But it was still a different experience. And the main thing is just to do it. And the other thing that I felt, which kind of stopped me, that I had some resistance from doing it, was these injuries. That was one thing that was an excuse that I was making. And I'm sure at some schools it would have been an issue because at the school that my kids were at for a while, they had them start wrestling, pretty early on. And if I started that first day with wrestling at the Jiu Jitsu class, I probably would not have done it, would not have felt confident in my neck, my shoulder, and my knee. Those are still issues that I'm dealing with. The neck is actually why I stopped playing rugby. And then the knee and the shoulder were surgeries that I've had. The knee about a year ago, the shoulder back in January, so almost a year from now. And I just was not confident in my rehab. I've been working out for a while. So slow, controlled movements, nothing explosive, no Olympic lifts. But these slow control movements I was fine with. Squats, bench, deadlifts, tweaking my knee a little bit recently. So I've kind of done other variations on that same movement. But the injuries were something that bothered me and was causing me not to do it. But this school, they have a real good foundation. You work on the foundations. You work on some real basic things first. And after you master these basic things, that's when this school allows you to wrestle, or rolling is what they're calling it in Jiu Jitsu. And I think with a good training program, a good trainer, you will get that in the weight room as well. You should push yourself a little, but not too hard in the beginning because you don't know what your body is capable of. So getting that in the weight room, doing things the correct way, getting a good foundation, making sure your body's moving properly, making sure that any previous injuries are taken into account in your program. I think that is very important in a good weight room program. And I think it's a good foundation that they're starting at the school. So all this intimidation and fear that I've had going through there, the main way that goes away is by learning, by doing it, and also by conditioning my body, making it stronger. Feeling very sore right now is another thing that I'm going through. I've been working out for a while in the gym, so my body is used to those movements, and doing different things is making my body sore. And I've been sore this past week, a lot more than normal. Because when you work out and you do something you're not used to, your body will get sore. And I'm experiencing that again. I haven't really experienced that in the weight room for a while. I kind of know my body in the weight room. I don't know it in a jiu-jitsu class. And because again, that the experience level is not there. So it's something that you overcome. I'm sure in week 2, week 3, that soreness that I'm feeling from doing a new activity is going to go down. But right now, it is kind of what it is. And I've been to class pretty much every day, except for Sunday. But I started last week, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, I did not work out because they don't have classes. And I don't usually lift on Sundays. Did a class on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today is Thursday. I'm about to go tonight. And then there's a class tomorrow on Saturday. So that soreness, I'm not letting it stop me. And I'm not using that as an excuse to not do what I need to do, because what I want to do with this is learn this and be able to master it, be able to continue on for many, many years. Treat my body right to avoid injuries. I think that's an important thing too in working out and in any kind of physical activity that you do. So I hope it all made sense, guys. Those are my thoughts on it. Again, no notes, no script, nothing on this. It's kind of like a video diary kind of keeping, so I could kind of look back at myself. And anybody that is starting off in the gym or starting off working out can look back on this and look at my experience in starting something new. So if the gym is something new for you, just push through it. Just do it. And doing it consistently, doing something consistently is going to help you build that confidence, help you overcome any intimidation or overcome any fears. And so if you're thinking about getting started with something, just do it. Just do it. Don't worry about the excuses. If there's a limitation like an injury like I had, you might not be able to do it as fully as you want. But just go. Just get started. Whether it be in your workouts or taking some kind of martial arts class or starting a sport, or even if it's something in business or family life, if there's something that you want to be doing, just do it. There's no time in life for excuses to keep doing this. I've made that mistake many times myself, and hopefully with this video inspires you to not do that. So that's it, guys. Check out my Instagram channel. Check out website Professionally Strong. No show notes on this video, but in my normal videos, still going to be doing those. There will be show notes, so check out that website, bookmark it. Some good stuff there. I hope you continue to work out. Hope you continue to challenge yourself, and I will see you next time. Once again, I am Paul Niyama, and I want to help you become the best and strongest version of yourself.